Urgent Dallas Cowboys FANS. Do not miss this. What just happened? You won't believe this one. But before we reveal the big news, make sure to subscribe to the channel because here we bring you daily videos with the latest Dallas Cowboys updates. And to not miss anything, activate the notifications. Hey, Cowboys Nation. Today we're diving deep into some of the most intriguing developments as the Dallas Cowboys inch closer to the start of their regular season. It's that time of year again, folks, when every practice, every preseason game, and every roster move carries tremendous weight. The Cowboys are just about a week away from trimming down that 90-man roster to the 53 players who will represent Dallas in the upcoming battles on the gridiron. And trust me, the stakes are high. This isn't just about who makes the team. It's about who gets left out, who gets traded, and how the team will shape up for what promises to be another intense season. Now, one of the biggest storylines swirling around the Cowboys right now revolves around their pass rush. We all know how crucial the edge rusher position is in today's NFL. It's the front line of the defense, the spark that can turn a game around with a single sack or a game-changing strip sack. And this year, with the addition of Von Miller, the Cowboys have made a bold move to bolster that unit. Miller, a proven star and a Super Bowl MVP, came into Dallas with high expectations. His experience and leadership are invaluable. But as much as this is a boost for the team, it complicates things for some of the existing players, especially the younger guys fighting for a spot. One player who's been at the center of discussion is Sam Williams. You know, he's a guy that initially showed a lot of promise when the Cowboys drafted him in the second round back in 2022. I mean, the guy had a pretty solid start to his career, accumulating 8.5 sacks in his first 2 seasons. That's impressive for a second-round pick, especially on a team that's been trying to rebuild its pass rush. Williams was viewed as a rising star, a potential cornerstone for the Cowboys' defense. But as is so often the case in the NFL, things haven't gone entirely as planned. In 2024, Williams suffered a major setback, a torn ACL and MCL tear that ended his season before it even really got started. Before that, he was on pace to be a key rotational player, contributing with 85 tackles, 22 tackles for loss, and nearly 10 sacks over his first 2 seasons. But the injury in 2024 was a significant blow, not just physically but also in terms of his standing on the team. Coming back from such a serious injury takes time, and it's tough to regain the same explosiveness after missing an entire season. And let's be honest, with Miller now in the mix, the competition just got tougher for Williams. Now, let's talk about the current state of the roster and what that could mean for Sam Williams. The Cowboys have already signed Von Miller, who is expected to be a starting edge rusher, and they have other confirmed spots for players like Rashan Gary, Donovan Eziruaku, and rookies Malachi Lawrence and Jashawn Barham. Those rookies, especially Lawrence, have been making noise in camp, and their presence adds even more competition at the position. For Williams, the question isn't just about talent, it's about opportunity. And here's where things get really interesting. The Cowboys are facing some tough roster decisions. You see, with Miller taking up a roster spot, it's likely that the team might have to make some cuts. And the name Sam Williams has been floated as a potential candidate for an early release. Some analysts and insiders even suggest that Dallas could consider moving him before the season begins, maybe at the trade deadline in exchange for a draft pick, possibly a day 3 pick, which is still valuable for a team looking to build for the future. That's a real possibility, especially if Williams doesn't show the consistency and explosiveness that the team hoped for when they drafted him. What makes this situation even more complex is the fact that Williams has been a decent contributor. Despite the setbacks, he's shown flashes of the player he was drafted to be. He's racked up 85 tackles, 22 tackles for loss, 20 quarterback hits, and 9 sacks in just 2 seasons, plus some forced fumbles and pass deflections. Those numbers aren't bad at all, especially considering his injury history. But in today's NFL, especially with a team like the Cowboys that's aiming to be a legitimate contender, production and availability are everything. And let's not forget, the team's coaching staff has been high on Williams' potential. They see the talent, the athleticism, and the motor that made him a second-round pick. But the reality is the NFL is a business. The Cowboys need to optimize their roster for the best chance at winning, and sometimes that means making tough cuts. Now, it's also worth mentioning that the team's front office isn't just looking at what players have done in the past. They're also evaluating what they believe these players can do moving forward. That's why the rookies Malachi Lawrence and Jashawn Barham are in the mix. Lawrence, a first-year player, has shown some impressive traits in camp, and Barham, a versatile linebacker, can also contribute on special teams. Considering their presence, it might be easier for the Cowboys to part ways with Williams if they feel that the younger guys can step in more consistently. And let's be honest, the NFL is a league where timing and opportunity matter a lot. If Williams is cut or traded, he'll likely find a new home quickly. His talent is undeniable, and teams are always on the lookout for pass rushers who can add depth and explosiveness. The question is whether the Cowboys see enough upside to keep him, or if they're willing to part ways for the sake of roster flexibility and cap management. But it's not just about Williams. This entire situation reflects the broader strategic approach Dallas has taken in recent years. They've been building a team that balances youth and experience, aiming to create a sustainable contender. The roster decisions they make now will ripple through the season. It's about managing injuries, maximizing talent, and ensuring that every spot on that 53-man roster is filled with players who give the team the best chance to succeed week after week. And speaking of the bigger picture, the Cowboys' defense has traditionally been a key strength when healthy. With Mike McCarthy's coaching staff emphasizing pressure on the quarterback and aggressive defensive schemes, having a reliable pass rush is non-negotiable. Miller's addition is seen as a game changer, but it also brings some tough choices about playing time and roster spots. The coaching staff wants to maximize him, but that means younger players need to step up or potentially move on. Now, all of this adds a layer of excitement and anticipation for fans. We're just around the corner from meaningful football, and every move the Cowboys make right now could be the difference between a deep playoff run or a disappointing season. The roster decisions are never easy, but they're part of the game. And for Cowboys fans, it's always about the hope, the grit, and the belief that this team can finally reclaim its spot among the league's elite. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Dallas Cowboys news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. As we look ahead, it's clear that the Cowboys are in a crucial phase of their season preparations. The preseason is winding down and the final roster cuts are looming. Every player on that bubble has to prove their worth, and for someone like Sam Williams, it's about showing that he's still got what it takes to be a difference maker. The competition is fierce, and the margin for error is razor-thin. But beyond just the roster battles, this situation highlights how Dallas continues to evolve. They're trying to find the right mix of veterans and young talent, of proven stars and potential breakout players. With the NFC being as competitive as ever, every decision counts. The Eagles, 49ers, Cowboys, and others are all loading up and making moves, so Dallas needs to be strategic. That's why the roster cuts, including the fate of players like Williams, are so pivotal. In the end, it's all about the team's future. The Cowboys don't just want to make the playoffs, they want to make a statement. They want to be a team that can dominate on both sides of the ball, that can play smart, tough football, and that can close out games when it matters most. That's the goal, and every roster move, every snap in the preseason is a step toward that vision. And now, Dallas Cowboys fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Cowboys. Do you think Sam Williams will find a way to stay on the roster? Or do you believe that the team might part ways with him to make room for the rookies or other veterans? Whatever your thoughts, I'm eager to hear them. Remember, this season is shaping up to be one of the most exciting in recent memory, and the Cowboys are right in the middle of it all. The storylines, the drama, the potential, it's all unfolding right now. And I'll be here to keep you updated every step of the way, analyzing, breaking down, and celebrating everything that makes this team so special. So stay tuned, Cowboys Nation, because the season is just about to kick off and every moment counts. Thanks for riding along with me today. I'll be back soon with more updates, more insight, and more of that Cowboys spirit we all love. Until then, keep the faith, keep the hope, and as always, go Cowboys.